So in my role as coordinator, I work with our faculty in helping them to investigate ways in which they can incorporate online instruction and best practices in online instruction to enhance their students' learning experiences. And the presentation that I presented today was highlighting one of those ways. NCCU is heavily involved with the Quality Matters program, which is a quality assurance program regarding course design. And it's based on 8 general standards focused on our research-based best practices in online instruction or online course design. And so in participating with the Quality Matters program, there is a general workshop, it's called the Applying the Quality Matters Rubric Workshop, which can, for our faculty, be a little involved. It is an all-day workshop if they are taking the face-to-face version or a 2-week online version. And what we found is that our faculty, although they're presented with lots of information that we want to stay with them as they're designing their courses, because of how much information they're presented during that short period of time, they often walk away not having really I guess, understood the content that was presented to them or had the opportunity for practical application. So it doesn't really stick with them. So we decided that there must be some way that we could incorporate additional professional development to really help solidify what we want them to learn from that workshop. And so in collaboration with a third-party company, Talented, we created a mobile application, which is basically a game in which the faculty are put in the position of a Quality Matters liaison between our Office of E-Learning and their peers on campus. And so they're answering real-world problems that their colleagues would have as they're designing their courses. And based on their understanding of the rubric as presented in that rubric workshop, they're providing advice and feedback to those faculty members so that they can improve their courses in preparation for submitting them for certification. Immediately following the pilot, we conducted a focus group with our participants, and they shared that not only were they making changes to their courses as they were preparing for the spring semester, they made changes to the course shells that they were developing based on what they learned from having participated, but they're also sharing what they've learned and reinforcing that with their colleagues. And so it's going beyond the pilot group and it's affecting change in the courses for instructors that weren't even participating with us. So we're excited about that. Something that I found very interesting about what we've done and what we've learned from what we've done is dealing with one of the standards, which focuses on accessibility and usability. And we have uncovered in conversations with our colleagues at different institutions that a large concern that many of us have is the accessibility of the course technology and the content that we present to our students. And in higher education, what we found is that unfortunately, as we've begun to expand into the online environment, the topic of accessibility was not always addressed in these conversations. And we found that when we were having these conversations about expanding our course offerings to the online environment, the topic of accessibility was not included in those conversations. And unfortunately, what that did is it put us in a position where we have to play catch up. Because when we work with our students, we are not assuming that we're only working with our students who are fully sighted or fully hearing or fully able-bodied. We are doing this for all of our students, regardless of ability level. And the idea behind that is the promotion of the concept of universal design.